Woodman of the World burials, stones, which, if that's unfamiliar to you, is a video that will be coming out soon. And since I was at the Evergreen Cemetery, which is the very well kept cemetery next door, that also has 3 or 4 woodmen, I wanted to come by my favorite place. I think this is my favorite place in St. Augustine. It's 2 abandoned black cemeteries. There are slaves here. On the wrong side of the tracks here, literally. Completely abandoned. It was abandoned in the 70s. The raising of signs like this and any care at all that's done is done by survivors, volunteers, church groups, and the various veteran groups that hang wreaths and flags and such on veterans. I've done 2 or 3 videos about this place, walking to every single stone. I wanted to come by and visit some of the slave burials that I'm aware of. I see one of the slave burials where I left a cup of tea the last time I was here is still here. And this is very interesting. I was just in Evergreen Cemetery visiting some of the very older burials, 1890 burials, where I have left tribute, and the tribute's gone. But everything that I have left, and I've seen other people leave things here as well, remain. So we're walking up to a slave burial, and you see there's a cup. I left that cup with tea in it. You also see a piece of pistachio calcite. When you see 3 chains, that means this person was born a slave. My cup of tea still stands. My pistachio calcite still stands. Let me leave something else for Mr. Anderson. Sometimes I come here and clean things up. People have obviously been here. There are wreaths everywhere. It's all love that keeps places like this standing. Say, for instance, that stone fell, someone picked it up. Little things like that. There's another cup of tea that I left, you see. There's another abandoned black cemetery right on the other side of those trees. It's called Woodlawn, though it has no sign. And people regularly leave plates of food there for their elders. See, this is completely open. And this is a horrible floodplain. So these stones and crypts endure a lot. A lot of water damage. See there? It's another slave over here, and you see I left that cup of tea, and it's still there, you see. Black folk and Latin folk have a completely different attitude about the dead. See? Born a slave. There's nowhere to put that. I'll put it right there. Another piece of calcite. It's not hard to imagine that many of these people were born slaves. Anyone that lived through that period. So they're not all demarcated. Now I can't read that. It's completely destroyed. But let's leave some tribute nonetheless. see all this sweeping was done by volunteers. That's a family plot that's been completely destroyed. See a lot of flags. There are a lot of veterans here. Again, it's a family plot. There's no stone left. See, someone that was loving set that there. There's no way of knowing now where it was, but they placed it there. That was Alfred Williams. Private U.S. Army. Blood damage. Family plot, but all the stones are gone. Vietnam. Family plot, all the stones are gone. Sometimes, people steal stones, especially in abandoned cemeteries. There's a cemetery out along the St. Johns River in a town called New Switzerland. Well, the town's called Switzerland. The plantation that was there was called New Switzerland. The whole story about that, I did a video about it. The plantations along the St. Johns River. There was a Civil War colonel in that cemetery, and someone stole the stone. And so now the cemetery is closed, unfortunately. Right on the river. Gorgeous old cemetery. Not only is it closed means they're not taking internments anymore. It's locked. You can't get in because someone stole a stone, a Civil War memorial stone. I wonder where they got for that on eBay. I always love coming by Miss Alice Tomlin here. Let's sleep something for Miss Alice. Little calcite for Miss Alice. Oh, last time I was here, that was still in the ground. And you see there's a tortoise that lives underneath there. But there's been flooding since. Someone will upright that, I suspect. If they can find the actual alignment, they'll upright it. They certainly do that for the military stones. There are various groups, I can't remember their names now. The earliest segregated cemetery in Florida. Here it is. And the first time I came here about 2 years ago, this place was so overgrown. A great deal of work has been done in the last 2 years. A lot of veterans back here. It was hard to walk back here. It was so overgrown. Now, the last series of storms, there was a great deal of damage. Some trees were downed. You see things like that happen. You see how that crypt is you know, it would have been buried in line with that tree, and the floodwaters knocked it off, and things like this. So the coffin is completely exposed to the elements, and the stone has toppled. World War One. Mr. Scott. So this is the oldest segregated black cemetery in Florida. Known. You know, there are older ones that weren't official. This was done after the last storm. His stone was dug out. Mr. Harris, also World War One. He was dug out, and there's another one. All that you could see before were the tops. But again, the people that come out and put the flags in also take care of the military stones. Another World War One. I love the handwritten stones. I just love that. I prefer them, actually. And we've got a lamb on here. Lambs usually represent children. All we know is she died. Oh no, it says mother. She died 1960. But her head's gone. I'm not going to think the worst, given what I know. These stones endure through the elements. Now on the other side of the fence is the very well maintained Evergreen Cemetery, where I just was. Uploaded several shorts from there on my quest for Woodman of the World Stones. What a difference the fence makes. Okay, look at this. Oh, look at that. Thought there was a young man out there with a weed whacker cleaning all the weeds and whatnot growing around the stones. Not so much here. But you know, I've come to prefer this. Because if you see something here, it's done out of love and respect. Another World War One. It's done out of love and respect, not a paycheck. The people that come here and do these things love these people. They know that their ancestors are still alive with them at all times. And that's why they keep life around them. Oh, that would have been for one of the veterans. For the World War One. Mr. Albright. So I'm going to go back. Now that I am a mobile dweller, my permanent address is my P.O. box. I rely on internet from coffee shops or the parking lot at Planet Fitness or the parking lot of Lowe's, that type of thing, to upload videos. So I still have editing to do. All the footage that I got in my Christmas visit down to Brevard County, and we visited, well, in one day we visited 7. I went back the day after Christmas and visited at least 3 more. So close to 10 cemeteries in Brevard County. I still have work to do with those. So here we are. That was the oldest segregated cemetery, oldest black cemetery in Florida. Pinehurst. This is San Sebastian. Abandoned since the 70s because The owner died. The cemetery was closed. And the families weren't interested in staying in the cemetery business. And now any work that's done is done by volunteers, people like myself who come by at least once a month and will pick up trash. Church groups, the veteran groups that place the flags and wreaths, and will also dig out buried military stones. And up here are the known slaves. As I said, it's quite likely that if you look at the headstones, you can figure out who it is likely slaves may have been. But the ones that I know of that are marked on their stones with the 3 interlocking chains. I visit regularly. And that's actually what I came in for. So there you see there's a stone with a cup. It was a cup of tea I left last month. And Mr. Anderson. Well, I'm not sure if it's Mr. It's letters. There isn't a male Anderson. That might be his wife, actually. I left that tea and that piece of pistachio quartzite. And as I said before, in black cemeteries or even in abandoned cemeteries, if you leave things like that, people leave them. I was just in the Evergreen Cemetery next door where I had left tribute and it's been taken. So go figure. As I said, black folks and Latin folks have a completely different attitude about death and respect for death than we do. Okay, I'm headed to a place to sit and steal Wi-Fi.